Hello everybody, welcome back to another Test It Tuesday. A lot of you guys have pointed out that I'm getting a few grey hairs here and there, which I actually don't mind. I would love a full head of salt and pepper hair, you know, like that silvery grey with a bit of black going on in there. Kind of like it. But I'm at that awkward stage where I can count the grey hairs on my head. I think I have 10 or 11, depending on when I last had my hair cut. So I'm at that awkward stage of, should I just dye it all grey, which I really want, or should I just cover up the greys until I get a more, you know, appropriate amount of grey hairs on my head? I'm leaning more towards the covering the greys for now, and that is why today I will be trying out this quick hair tint brush. This is by a brand called RiRe, I believe it's pronounced, or RiRe, and this claims to change your hair colour easily and quickly. An innovative hair tint that stays long and clearly, whatever that should mean. And by reading the packaging, this is good for grey hairs, which I believe is actually just the point. I picked this up for $9.85, which I believe is just under £7, which I think is pretty cheap, but it does only come in two colours, and that is the black that I have today and a dark brown as well. Initially, I'm a little bit dubious as to whether this will work or not. It's quite difficult to cover up grey hairs unless it's like a box dye or you go to the salon. Products just don't really take to grey hairs that well. Initially, this looks like it's going to be super easy to work. I think the brush tip, the brush head is going to make it super easy to apply. And to dispense the product, all you do is click the little button that's on the side just there, which I hope is going to help control the amount of dye coming out. So yeah, let's zoom into my greys and test it out. Okay, so I'll be applying this, talk my eyebrows. I'll be applying this to not fully clean hair, because that's what they do in salons when they colour your hair, or even when you get a box dye, they tell you to apply it to not dirty hair, but not clean hair. So then all you do with the brush is click it a few times, which I've already done, and you see quite a bit comes out already. Don't know if you can see that. That's quite a lot actually. I'm kind of scared to put that on my head. Okay, so start off here. Oh, yeah, see, that's a lot going on there. It's very wet, very shiny, but it's covering it up like instantly. I'm scared to go near the scalp in case it like stains or... Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Okay, it's okay. It's just very wet. But that's covered them up like pretty instantly. Okay, it looks good. Then I've got a few grey hairs through here. I'm just gonna kind of brush that in. Try and get full coverage on those greys. I mean, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I don't have the greyest of grey hairs anyway. I don't know if you can see them two little ones there, but we're gonna go in and cover them up also. This is still with one click. So one click of the button. It covers quite a lot of hairs, if that makes sense. Like, you don't have to dispense too much. I'm gonna do like half a click. Let's see. Yeah, that's my only concern is you can't do like half a click and dispense a small amount. It's always just like a big amount of colour that comes out per click. Which when you just want to do a few touch-up greys like me, you don't really need that much. Oh, I got my scalp. If your sides are shorter, like most guys nowadays, it's difficult to cover those smaller grey hairs on the side of the head. Look at that, and that, and that. Okay, so that's all gone through. It was very easy to use, very easy. I've stained my scalp quite a bit. This actually says now, wait 3 to 5 minutes for it to dry, but I'm gonna quickly try and remove the scalp damage stains off my scalp, and then I'll come back to you guys in about 5 minutes once it's completely dry, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes and there are still a few bits that aren't completely dry. Actually just one bit, not a massive problem, it'll probably dry out in a few minutes. I forgot to mention this isn't a permanent, this is a semi-permanent solution, a temporary in other words, and this does wash out. It did get a little bit messy though, I didn't realise, like, I don't know how that's happened. I don't actually know where that's come from. But yeah, the coverage is actually really good. I do have jet black hair, so it's so easy to kind of match up my colour anyway. So it'll be interesting to see what the lighter brown version's like, see if it's kind of like a good all-rounder. So this really was a quick tint hairbrush. It took me about 7 minutes. That's including the application time and the waiting for it to dry altogether. It was really easy to apply, very easy to apply. The brush made it super simple, and I feel like the texture of the actual brush head kind of worked really well with my hairs, just to kind of like, you know, feed through nicely nicely and helped go in the direction of my already styled hair and didn't mess it up too much, even though I did have to rearrange a few little bits. It's super cheap as well, really, really affordable, and I feel like a little bit of this does go a really, really long way. Saying that, the pump does pump out maybe a bit too much, so if you do have big patches of grey hair that you're wanting to cover, that's perfect, but if you have a few little grey hairs like me, one pump is way too much just to cover those little bits, so I did find that I was maybe wasting quite a bit of product. So I think I'm going to start rating all the products that I try in these videos, and I'm going to give them a rating out of 10. I feel like this is a really good 8. Like a very good 8. 7.5, 8-ish. The reason I give it that is because it does its job completely. It's very, very quick, very easy, and matches my color perfectly. However, the distribution of it, like how it comes out of the actual its container and that little pump, I wish I could just control a little bit more. It would be nice to be able to do half a pump rather than just a whole pump. And even with that whole pump, so much product comes out that it does just lay very wet in your hair, and then you have to spend a lot of time brushing it through. But other than that, it's great. I really, really like it, and I think I will be using it again. So that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, should I carry on covering my greys, or should I just go for it and go completely like silver grey ash? Let me know. I'm torn in between. Let me know how you feel about your grey hair if you have any. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on all my social. If you have any products that you want me to try out, any test-worthy products, leave them in the description box down below. But that's it for now, guys. I will see you next time.
Damn, son.